dreamers and Imagineers. Thank you for joining me for another chapter of Maxzyne and the Old Horse Theater. So Maxzyne keeps getting herself into more and more situations, doesn't she? We are on chapter 8 today, but let's recap for a minute what happened in chapter 7. So Maxzyne is able to convince Rico to take Caesar over to the Chicago Mounted Police stables on the South Shore in the hopes that her friend Officer Logan, one of the mounted police officers, can help them figure out what to do to help Caesar. While they are there, Rico has a bad feeling that the police officer might be too involved with keeping rules and regulations rather than saving Caesar. He doesn't want Caesar to be back out on the streets. So while Officer Logan is in his office checking on the horse's identification, he tries to convince Maxzyne to leave the premises, and she doesn't want to, so they fight over the reins. She grabs them first, and just as they are on the horse fighting, Officer Logan runs out of his office and yells, "Hey kids, get off that horse, it was reported stolen." And Maxzyne has the reins, and so she takes off, with Caesar, of course, also in the saddle. So they exit the stable and head outside to escape. So now we're on chapter 8, and that is Plan B. Without thinking, Maxzyne unfurls the reins and slaps them across Caesar's back. Just as she'd seen Rico do, she digs her heels into the horse's broad sides and yells, "Come on, Caesar, we're out of here." Behind her, Rico makes a clicking noise with his tongue, and the horse takes off. They sail past Officer Logan, who leans in to reach for the reins, but comes up empty. "You can't get away with this, kids. The whole force will be looking for you. Mark my words," he bellows. "I'm warning you. Don't go looking for trouble on festival night. I'm coming for you." His shouts fade as they burst through the wide stable doors and gallop around the opposite side of the graceful circular drive. The sunset glows overhead, splashing the clouds with red and purple streaks where the sky breaks through. Damp air rises from the nearby lake and creeps under Maxzyne's jacket and shirt collar. Her mind races. What to do? Which way now? Caesar's hooves thunder over the pavement. Realizing what she's just done, she feels goosebumps rise on the back of her neck and shoulders. Uh-oh, now I'm really in trouble. The principal's office was bad, but stealing a horse? Her palms start to sweat and the reins grow slippery in her hands. Now I'm running from the law. Behind her, Rico shouts, "Nice job, High Rise. Now, give me the reins, Gaucho, before you kill us all." Relieved, Maxzyne hands them over. Holding on to the saddle horn with one shaky hand, she points to the foggy moon rising over the silver lake. "We better stay by the water, Rico. The moon will make it bright enough for us to see. They won't think of looking for us out there. It's cold, so there shouldn't be anyone by the lake this time of year." She crosses her fingers in the dark. Rico leads Caesar toward the shore, letting the horse choose his steps carefully. As the sky slowly melts from pink to gray, the tree trunks glisten in the moonlight, helping the fugitives blend into the shadows. At last, they reach the edge of the water, where the deserted bike path becomes easier to follow. As the lights twinkle on in the skyscrapers ahead, Maxzyne is glad to be heading in the direction of the city. "We really need that plan B now, Rico." There is no sound except the quick trotting of Caesar's hooves beneath them. "Rico, hello," she shouts over her shoulder. "We need to figure out our next move." Finally, she turns, jabbing him with her elbow. See, I hear you." "Well, you didn't say anything. Who needs to talk with you around, High Rise?" Annoyed, she twists in the saddle. "Hey, I'm your teammate, remember? That means you should respect me. And you should respect this view for a minute." Rico throws his arm up and around as if offering her the rising moon. "Look at the moon on the lake." He gulps the cold air, exhaling with a wistful sigh. "It looks like La Pampa in my country. It goes on forever." His voice cracks a little. "It is pretty," she agrees. "I've never seen your, La Pampa, but I guess Illinois has prairies too. Whenever I see a full moon on the lake from our condo window, it makes me want to catch it." "I didn't know your building was that tall, High Rise," he teases. Maxzyne bristles at the laughter in his voice. "It's not, silly. I didn't mean really catch it. I meant take a picture, draw or paint it, save it. That's what artists do, you know." "Ah, I see. Like my grandmother. She used to weave a moon symbol into her handmade cloth. I have a scarf she made me for my birthday. It's black with a silver moon. She said it would protect me and my horse." There is a rustling sound as he fumbles inside his jacket for a moment. He gives an elated cry and unfolds a black cotton bandana embroidered with a shining silver moon and delicate white stars. "See, it's always with me." He carefully ties it around his neck. "If it protects you, is it like magic or something?" Maxzyne asks, remembering the black silk hat in her backpack. "My grandmother would say so." He snorts. "Me? I don't believe in magic. That's silly talk from elders and long dead ancestors." "Yeah, but you did bring it with you," Maxzyne reminds him. "And so far, it's protected you, right?" "Maybe, but I mostly have it to remember her. That's why it's special." She senses his sadness and tries to keep her voice light. "Well, the moon on the lake is special. Sometimes I like it even better than the Navy Pier fireworks." She points to the right, across the lake, where a glittering neon Ferris wheel competes with the moonlight. Rico claps his hand on his head. "Navy Pier? That's where Mr. Stryker wants me and Rosa to hand out posters about tonight's show. Even if we can save Caesar and I don't lose my job, I'll never be back in time to hand them out. How will folks know to come to the theater? We'll all lose our jobs because there won't be any money to pay us." "Well, if you can focus for a second, I have an idea." "Is this more of that bushel of brains talk again? It did not work so good last time," he reminds her. "Your friend, Officer Logan, thinks we stole this horse. Maybe we both go to jail now." "Hey, try to be positive, okay? I mean, like my dad always says, success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm." "Doesn't your mom ever say anything?" "Of course, she says, the sky's the limit. You just have to know how to fly." Rico nods in the dark. "See, I like that one." He flicks the reins, spurring Caesar to trot a bit faster. "Well, she usually says it when I'm drawing instead of doing my homework," Maxzyne admits. This talk about drawing reminds her of how much trouble she is in with her parents and school. Her stomach feels queasy and her throat tightens. She knows her mother must be searching frantically for her at the school. That's even worse than the thought of jail. But maybe if I can do something positive for this horse. "So, what's the plan, X, Z, and Y? Caesar and I have to approve it. Right, amigo?" He leans forward, making that funny noise with his tongue. In response, the horse trots faster. Before I tell you the plan, you need to start calling me by my real name. Or is that too much to ask, Moonbeam Cowboy? Hey, what's that word you use? Chillax. He pokes her between the shoulder blades. So, tell me your plan, Team Maxzyne. That's better. She holds onto the saddle horn with one hand and pushes several braids away from her eyes with the other. Okay, since we can't convince Officer Logan that Caesar needs to be free of his carriage and owner, maybe we need to think outside the box. Huh? Outside what box? You know, like outside the ring you ride the horses in. Think bigger. Get it? Oh, see. So, what's this outside box plan? It's a little more complicated than the first plan, but hear me out. I think we need to try to change things for horses. All horses. She hangs on to the saddle horn with both hands, twisting her neck to see him. He shakes his head, confused. She shrieks, trying to be heard over the sound of Caesar's clopping hooves. Imagine if we don't just save Caesar, we save every horse in the city. Rico pulls on the reins, slowing down the horse. Excited by her new idea, Maxzyne waves her arms at the city skyline. Last month, we learned in civics class at school all about how rules are made in Chicago. She grins and bounces in the saddle. Rico groans. No, not more rules. What is it with city people and rules? Maxzyne rushes on. Yes, but we can change the rules. See, it all starts with the alderman in my neighborhood. An alderman is a person elected by us. Well, actually by grown-ups. Like my parents. Aldermen or ladies form the city council, which makes the laws, rules. But any citizen can give them an idea to make things better in the city. She snaps her fingers. That person just has to take the new idea to the city council for a vote. And if they vote yes, the rule changes. That's how it works. Easy, huh? Why do I think this is going to be harder than it sounds? He yanks one of her braids and she ducks sideways to get free. And who is your alderman person? Alderman O'Malley. He spoke to our class last month. He'll be at the parade on Michigan Avenue tonight with the mayor and the whole city council. And what do we change about the rule exactly? No more horses on city streets? Caesar gives a high-pitched whinny as if in agreement. Rico smiles and nods. Maybe, she answers, daring to let go of the saddle horn and wave one arm at the lake. Or, I know, how about carriage horses can only be used along the lake or in the parks. So it's not so stressful for them to work on crowded streets every day. And the tourists still get a great view. She sweeps her arm again across the chilly moonlit landscape. See, I like this idea. This is a good rule for Los Caballos. He leans around Maxzyne's shoulder, talking to Caesar. What do you think of this rule, amigo? Not getting an answer, Rico shrugs and makes a trilling noise with his tongue. The horse trots faster. I think Caesar wants a warm barn and some dinner first, tells Maxzyne. The horse snorts and his breath steams in the chilly air. First, we gotta get to the parade kickoff on Michigan Avenue. All the city officials will be there. They have their own float. She admires the twinkling lights on the Navy Pier Ferris wheel getting closer. We should turn soon, because Michigan Avenue and the parade starts that way. Rico shifts direction, turning Caesar away from the lake. Within several blocks, the quiet desolation of the waterfront gives way to bustling taxis, cars, and buses. Rico keeps the horse close to the sidewalk, but as they near the parade route, the pavement is filled with pedestrians. Caesar whinnies, becoming skittish as a crowd of parents with excited children in tow swirl around him. The noise and crowd scare the horse too much, Rico frets. This plan is no good. But we're so close. Come on, chillax, Caesar. She coos while stroking the agitated horse's neck. Let's pretend we're part of the parade and get close to where the city council hangs out. You can do it. She pats him gently between the ears. Caesar whinnies louder this time. The nervous horse dips his head, wanting to stop. Come on, Caesar, we're almost there, Maxzyne urges. Rico, do something. Can't you use that secret horse code to calm him down? He is stressed. If he bolts, someone could get hurt. Better turn around before something bad happens. No, she snaps, pulling off her backpack and unzipping the canvas. If you're not going to talk to him, I will. She fumbles inside and retrieves the black silk hat. What are you doing now, High Rise? That hat isn't going to calm him down. Maxzyne tugs the hat down over her braids and resists the urge to jab Rico with her elbow. She is distracted when a small boy riding in a stroller points and shrieks, "Horsey, Mommy!" Rico skillfully guides the horse around the mother and child, but the sidewalk is crowded. Maxzyne taps the hat brim. This isn't just a hat, Rico. Don't laugh, but it's a magic hat. Caesar and I can understand each other when I wear it. She leans over and strokes the horse's neck. Right, Caesar? So how can we help you calm down and get the city council to save you and all the other horses? You are loca, High Rise. Maybe there is not enough oxygen where you live in that tall building. Your brain is starved for air if you think that's a magic hat, he scoffs. Be quiet and listen, Rico. Rico shakes his head, pulling hard on the reins. Caesar stops. Frustrated, Maxzyne spins in the saddle. Rico, what are you doing? I told you. Wait, look over there. She points over his shoulder. We made it. This is exactly where we need to be. Rico twists the reins and turns to see a short, plump man wearing a red and green velvet bow tie. He is standing on a platform. Around him are several other official-looking men and women. Maxzyne cranes her neck, squinting at the blinking, battery-operated Santa face on the man's coat. The pulsing light reflects the familiar official's puffy cheeks and heavy jowls. The bags under his eyes are dark smudges. That's Alderman O'Malley, she shouts. She flips one leg over the horse and slides from the saddle, dropping to the ground. Rico reaches to stop her, but is too late. Maxzyne pushes the hat away from her face and stands on her tiptoes, looking toward the officials gathered on a nearby platform. Alarmed, Rico stands in the stirrups as Caesar neighs and snorts, eyes rolling behind the leather blinkers. Wait, where are you going? I don't know how long I can hold on here. Maxzyne points at the city officials. Be cool, cowboy. Stay there, I'll be right back. She pretends to snap imaginary reins in her hands, flashing a grin. I've got the reins on our city council. Just watch Team Maxzyne in action. She wades through the crowd, scampering around pedestrians. Several steps from the platform, she hears an angry shout from behind. Hey, there's Caesar. Kid, what do you think you're doing with Mac's horse? Uh-oh, looks like they're still in a lot of trouble and maybe even some more trouble, doesn't it? But we'll have to wait until chapter 9 to see what else happens in this adventure. In the meantime, just wanted to let you know that if you have any questions about reading, writing, Maxzyne, being an author, I love to hear from my readers, and with your parents' permission, you can email me your questions at maxzyne.com. So until the next chapter, keep reading and keep writing. See you soon.
Wow, that last chapter was so exciting that I almost forgot about the book discussion questions for Chapter 8, Plan B. We don't want to do that because my good friend Elizabeth Rydell, she worked really hard on these questions. So let's see what they are. After Officer Logan announces that the horse is stolen, Maxzyne runs away on Caesar. Why did she do that? What else could she have done? Rico always carries a scarf bandana that his grandmother made for him. She said it would protect him and his horse. Do you think it's true that it could protect him? Do you have an object that is special to you? Why is it special? How does it make you feel when you hold it? Maxzyne mentions an outside-the-box plan. What does that mean? Maxzyne aspires to save not just Caesar, but every horse in the city. What is the compromise solution she offers to please horse owners, the horses, and the public? Do you think you have the ability to make change where you live? Is there something you would like to change? So that does it for Chapter 8 today. Join me soon for Chapter 9 and keep reading and writing.